Hey everyone, thank you for joining me for today's class, Define and Open. We're gonna build a lot of strength in your shoulders and upper body and work nice and deep into your inner thighs, working into our middle split. So grab your mat and I'll meet you right back here.
Back to the
We're going to start today's class in frog pose. This is one of the most intense stretches personally in my body, so I encourage you to take it nice and slow. So I'm going to come down on my mat sideways so that my knees and ankles stay pretty cushioned. So we're going to start by taking your knees as wide as they can go, and then I want you to bring your heels even wider than your knees. So give yourself a moment to kind of position yourself. And if you have a bolster or even a pillow or anything like that that you can come on down to and just kind of relax your upper body onto, that can be really helpful. So the key in this pose is to push back. It's not as intense if we allow our body to come forward. So I really want you to think of sending your hips back toward your heels. Relax your neck. Try to focus on the breath. And when you feel yourself starting to open up and you have a little more room, then we're going to take it just a little bit deeper. So I always talk about kind of riding your edge. I want you to keep that in mind with our stretches as well as our strength moves. So we're not really easing up intensity, we're just kind of switching the focus here. And keep the hips pushing back toward your heels. That's the killer part, right? I think frog is so intense because we're not just working the muscles of your inner hips, but we're starting to work into the ligaments and tendons. Take it slow. We'll go last 5 breaths, maybe opening a little bit deeper if you've got it. When you start to exit, I want you to come out nice and slow. So I'm actually going to lean forward, take your heels in, and then gently bring your knees in. We're going to come all the way down into dolphin pose. Like down dog, but on our forearms. Try to keep your hands the same distance, shoulder width apart as your elbows. Stepping your feet in a little closer than down dog so that your shoulders are above your elbows. We're going to use the toes with an inhale. Exhale, shift forward into plank. So we're just repping it out here. We'll go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Staying in dolphin, shifting forward and back so your nose slightly comes above your thumbs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to down dog, we're going to squeeze your forearms in as you lower down to dolphin. Back up to down dog. So I'm trying to lower my elbows evenly and equally. We'll go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, coming back to dolphin, shift forward plank. We're going to reach one arm back. Just alternating arms for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and step your left foot forward. Lower your right knee down, lizard lunge. I'm going to start here. You can be on your hands or all the way down on your forearms, but keep in mind that we always want our knee in line with our big toe. I want to start by trying your best to keep your inner knee here and thigh hugging into your body. So I'm not going to open just yet. I'll go 5 breaths. Now we're going to open. So staying supported on your forearm or hand, you can start to rotate open here. Finding just a little easy twist. Left hand to the inner left thigh. Start to open your chest. Find a gentle rock forward and back. And go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up into a standing straddle. Toes will pivot in slightly. If you have naturally open hamstrings and inner hips, you can even find this idea of lifting your tailbone. So I'm trying to rotate my pelvic bowl, hip points down to the mat, and then tailbone up. So I'm just increasing the stretch. Relax the back of your neck, and even try to relax your shoulders. So I'm really active in the legs, even though it appears that I'm not doing much at all. I'm really finding that forced tilt of my pelvic bowl. And inhale, stay strong with the legs. I want you to crawl your hands a little further forward. So as I'm reaching my fingertips forward, I want to really reach my hips back. So I'm finding length through the side body, almost like I'm wanting to pull my fingertips back, but I'm keeping a little grip on the mat. Keep the idea of your tailbone lifting and relax your head. Be little tiny pulses. So the reason why I have you guys pulse in a lot of stretches is just increasing it. It's pushing you to your edge almost a little bit past for a split second. You're going to relax in one more time, but taking your stance even wider. Think of reaching your heart forward and then softening the back of your neck down. Nice and easy, heel toe your feet in. We're going to come back to dolphin pose. So remember, hands shoulder width apart, elbows shoulder width apart, feet walk in just slightly, pushing off the toes, dolphin to plank. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to dolphin. Shift forward and back. So your nose is coming closer to your thumbs and back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Dolphin pose, down dog. Lifting and lowering. 10, 9, triceps wrap under. 8, 7, squeeze your forearms together. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Dolphin, single arm plank, one arm back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really nice, you guys. For the sake of the camera, I'll turn to the back of the mat. Either way, for you, lizard lunge, right leg forward. So again, we're going to start here with our knee hugging in. I'm going to come down onto my forearms. You're welcome to stay up on the hands or maybe even a block. But I want you to not only keep your right knee hugging in, but find the action of almost squaring into your hips just to start. Every breath, I want you to try to find a little softness in the left side body. So I'm finding a little more depth. And now we'll open. Stay supported on the left hand or left forearm, right arm to your inner thigh. I'm going to twist open. So not only am I going to twist and open my knee, I want to start opening my chest as well. And again, we'll find our little rock. Kind of riding the edge, pushing gently past it, and back. Last two. And one. Again, we're going to straddle the mat. So every time we repeat a pose, we're going to try to find more depth. Come into your straddle. We'll start with our static hold to start. I'm going to find the lift of my tailbone, really tilting my pelvic bowl, frontal hip points toward the mat. You can even use your hands here to sort of pull your chest forward and down, keeping a nice long back, long side body. Inhaling, stay with the legs, crawl up onto the fingertips. And again, find that action of pushing your hips back as you reach your arms forward. I'm going to find this little bob here of my chest. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lengthen your stance. This doesn't have to be much. Maybe you're at your edge right away. Just take it slow. Let your body tell you when it's time to find a little bit more. Five breaths. Nice and slow. Start to heel toe your feet up and out of the stretch. We're going to pivot to the top of our mat and come into side planks. We'll start Vashisthasana, right hand down, stack your feet. We'll find a static hold here. Make sure that your hips are stacked. You can even physically feel them, trying to find hip on top of hip, shoulder on top of shoulder. So I'm pressing really strong out of my hand. As you can see, I'm gripping the mat, bicep forward, finding an equal lift through the entire side body. Let's try to slow the breath down. Every exhale, maybe find a little more extension and lift up and away from the mat. Last 5. Second side, left hand to the mat, same pose, Vashisthasana. Taking a moment here to feel your hips. Always trying to lengthen your tailbone down toward your heels. And remember, with every exhale, I want you to think of really finding that push. Push down through the left hand, lifting up and out of the bottom left hip. Use the breath. And go last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forearm Vashisthasana, right forearm to the mat. Same idea here. Lifting from the side body, staying nice and strong. We're not collapsing into the shoulder, but lifting up and out. So your entire right forearm is supporting you. And switching to the left forearm, forearm Vashisthasana. Sometimes when we find our poses static, the strength poses, we don't have all of this movement to distract our mind, right? And that's when maybe the inner voice starts talking to you and you start feeling certain muscles wake up. So I want you to focus on your breath. Every inhale, finding a little more space. Every exhale, a little more power lifting you up and out. And back to straight arm Vashisthasana, right hand to the mat. Feet are stacked. Left hand can be on your left hip to the sky or up and over, whatever you feel supports your pose the best. Bicep forward. Left hand down. Vashisthasana. Nice and strong, nice and static. Five breaths. Forearm Vashisthasana, right forearm to the mat. How many of these are we going to do, Ash? That's just it. I find it's better if I don't tell you. When you know, you'll start counting down, unless it's the second or third time you've done this video. Use the breath. And switching it out. Left side, forearm Vashisthasana. Almost there. And final time, straight arm on the right. Bicep spirals forward. We need to really press strong. Left hand down. Last time here on the left, straight arm. Breathe. One more time, right forearm to the mat. Side plank. Staying strong, lifting up and out of your shoulder. I think that's the hardest part when your muscles are starting to fatigue. Can you maintain integrity in your pose? And one more time, you guys. Final time, left side. Vashisthasana. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your hip down. Let's come into a nice wide seated straddle. So if you're on your mat, scoot yourself back so you have a little more room to come down. We're going to almost pivot our toes back. So we're finding that action of spiraling your inner thighs up and back behind you. Keeping a long spine and a long side body. Just going to start to crawl forward. This may be on your hands. This can be on your forearms. And try to take yourself maybe 70% of the way. We're not maxing out, giving yourself a little room to lengthen and grow slowly. Because remember, when your body feels safe, you're not going to tense up. You're going to release, and then overall, we're going to find way more depth and way more flexibility. When you feel your body open up, that's when we can take it a little further and a little further. And once you feel yourself open up even more, I'm going to find that same action of lifting my tailbone. So like we did in our standing straddle, it's almost a rock forward and back, very subtle movement, but I'm lifting my tailbone up as I rock forward, trying to tilt my pelvic bowl down. So I'm just increasing the stretch a little bit. And remember, your movement can be slightly different than mine. Let's go for 10, 9, 8. It's almost like adding a back bend, kind of. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and crawl yourself all the way up. We're going to come back to dolphin pose. From our dolphin pose in one movement, Vashisthasana. So straighten the arms, left arm up as you rotate heels to the right. So back and forth, right arm up, left hand down. And go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to hold it in plank pose. And take a second to find your plank. I teach a really high plank. What I mean by that is I'm lifting between my shoulder blades, almost a rounded back like cat pose. So I'm really using all of the muscles in your upper back, your shoulders, and your arms to support the pose. We're going to add in a little legs as well. So think of drawing your kneecaps up, heels to the ceiling, and then we breathe. I want you to really find your shoulders above your wrists, maybe even a little further forward onto your fingertips. Keep your navel drawing up to your spine, tailbone lengthening down, so no back bends in our plank pose. Let's go for last 5, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees down. We're going to come back to our seated straddle. This time we're going to take it as far as we can, max depth, and then keeping that max depth, walk over toward the right foot. So maybe reaching a little longer here out of your left hand. Same idea with the toes. I want you to think of rolling your inner thighs up and back. And then as you reach a little further out of the left fingertips, can you still square the left shoulder down so we're not opening the chest? And once you open up, take this at your own pace. We can even start to over-exaggerate, maybe coming more on top of your leg or even further toward the right. Ease yourself all the way up. We're going to come into forearm plank. Forearms down. Elbows shoulder width. Middle fingers kind of come to a direct extension of your elbows. But then same idea. We want to keep that lift up and out of your shoulders. So it's a nice high forearm plank. Navel to spine, tailbone towards heels. Use the breath. This is when we start using our mind over matter. Maybe your shoulders are really talking to you from all the dolphin work. Can your breath stay fluid? And go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down. One more time in our seated straddle. Max depth, and then we'll walk toward the left leg. Remembering, even though we're reaching further from the right fingertips, can you square your right shoulder down? And go last 3, 2, 1. Ease yourself all the way up, coming back to dolphin pose. Nice deep breath in. We're gonna find dolphin to plank pose. We'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dolphin push-ups where your nose comes a little closer to your thumbs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down dog to dolphin for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dolphin to plank pose, one arm back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work, you guys. We're gonna come all the way down, straddling your mat, and this time working closer to our middle split. Take this slowly. I like to keep my hands here to support. And then I personally like my toes up, heels down. You can definitely go the opposite. And then as you start to ease your way in, and I really encourage you to slow it down, I like to have one hand here to kind of take the weight so that I'm in control how much weight I'm allowing gravity to pull down. So it's not too much too soon. And then we can even find a little movement. Little bit by little bit. Maybe both forearms can come down. When you find your max depth, try to sit with it. Instead of fighting it, breathe deeper into it. Last 5. 3, 2, 1. Slowly come out. Maybe a little bit of help here if you took it really deep. And then our final push, we're going to come back to dolphin one last time. Use the toes. Dolphin to chaturanga. So nice deep breath in. And with an exhale, we'll shift forward. And then back to dolphin. Let's go one more. Really nice job, you guys. Thank you for joining me with this shoulder burnout. I hope you enjoyed the class. It's always my pleasure. I'll see you next time. Namaste.